He's the #4 welterweight in the world. He is a Brazilian badass. He's looking for a big fight with Nate Diaz or the champ Kamaru Usman, so we flew him all the way from Brazil to feed him bratwurst and grilled cheese. It's Vicente Luque on this week's Food Truck Diaries. Vicente Luque, what's up, brother?
All good, all good.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man.
Thanks for coming all the way out here to Calabasas, dude.
Oh, thank you, man, for bringing me. I was excited for the show.
Yeah. I wanted you on for a while, man. You're a guy where, on Below the Belt, I always break down the cards and star certain fights. And whenever you're on the card, I'm like, oh, shit, Vicente's on the card. Because we know you're going to bring it, man. And I think that's why you're a fan favorite. But you've had a long career. You've had 29 fights, damn near 30 fights.
Yeah, if you count the Ultimate Fighter, 31 fights.
31 fights. I count those. It's weird they don't count them. How weird is it?
I don't know, man. I fought 3 rounders, both of them. So yeah, they do count.
Yeah, like I finished 3 dudes, man. Those were fights. Anyways, you've had kind of a slow burn as far as talk of contender, like title contender, It's been like a slow burn, but you're always a fan favorite. And then finally, right when I saw you, I was like, dude, it's your time, man. Because I feel like it's your time. You look at the matchups, and we'll get into how you got there, but you look at the matchups, like in the top 5, you're the guy who hasn't fought Kamaru Usman yet. You're the one. Like, obviously, Leon Edwards deserves a shot, but there's some other, things going on there why he's not getting a shot. But he fought Kamaru, and then you look at the rest of the guys, they've all fought him. You haven't. What's it going to take for us to get you a Kamaru Usman fight? Because even during your fight, when you fought Michael Chiesa, your last fight, which was a great victory, he even tweeted out, was like, look great, you might be next, like he's into it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I called him out after my last fight. Yeah. I think that I've been doing and I've done enough to get that title shot, I believe, especially the way I win. The fights I put on, they're really exciting. That's my trademark, let's say. Like, I'm not a trash talker. I'm not going to sell my fights by talking trash about my opponent, but I sell my fights with my style. Everybody wants to watch. Whenever like, they announce my fights, I get a lot of support from the fans. I know that they're going to, put it on their agenda. They're going to make sure they watch that fight.
Because we know you're going to bring it.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I'm saying? Like, your guy's going to bring it, but you got to bring it and win. That's how you get the title shot. Do you feel pressure having that style, like knowing like you're a guy that finishes guys, or do you feel pressure going to the fight?
No, man.
Like if you hear boos, you hear I think in the Michael Chiesa fight, like there was a few boos a little bit, and then it was just like gangbusters. Like you were like, oh hell no. Then you switched.
Yeah, he moves a lot. He was moving a lot. So at a point they booed a little bit. And that's when I feel like I got to do something. I don't like to get booed. I like to put on exciting fights. Yeah. But it's not pressure. It's just like what I like doing. Yeah. I have a lot of fun fighting. That's what, I love doing. That's what I always want to do. I mean, sometimes it haunts me that I have to retire one day, that my body's not going to be able to do that anymore. Yeah. So I don't know. I just have fun in there. And putting on a great show for the fans, that's what I most love doing, getting that feedback after the fight, be it in there, hearing the crowd, or even after, a couple of days after, everybody talking good things about the fight. Yeah. Even when I lost to Thompson, for example, we got fight of the night, and a lot of people talk good things about me after that fight. Yeah. So my style, I think that's what sells me, and I'm always gonna fight this way. It's just what I do. There's no other way for me to fight.
Yeah, I think you're cut from the old cloth of those UFC guys where, since the Conor McGregor era, it's kind of forced guys kind of talk trash and sell fights. But you're a guy, a guy like Leonard Garcia, who wasn't as successful as you, probably not as skilled. But whenever he fought, he looked like a Korean zombie. Like, we don't need to trash talk, man. Like, if you put on a good fight, we don't need all that extra stuff. We really don't. Yeah, so I think you're refreshing and remind people, like, dude, you don't have to be this WWE superstar to get attention. Like, go out there and do what you're supposed to do, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what we are. We're fighters. Yep. We're not talkers. We're not trash talkers. Yep. We're fighters, and I do that really well. I go in there, and most of the times I get wins. I'm on a 4 win streak right now. Before, That I lost to Thompson, and I was on a 6-win streak. So, you know,
a lot of
my
fights, dude.
last 11 fights, I won 10 of them. So I think that talks a lot about my style. It's
Agreed.
not only fun fights, but I go out there and win decisively.
Yeah, they're fun fights, but you're sound. Obviously on the ground, you're a black belt now. And then on the feet, you know, that's where people like to see you do work.
Yeah, for sure.
Talking about the ground with Michael Chiesa, he was actually my pick. I thought he was going to win the fight and then get a title shot against Kamaru. I picked him as my dark horse. There's something about that guy. I always ride with him. And when you fought him, I thought, all right, if this goes to the ground, and maybe it's just my own ignorance, I was like, well, Vicente's so good on the feet. He'll probably line him up on the feet. Maybe Chiesa get him down eventually. It goes to the ground. It's going to be a short night for Vicente. And God, was I wrong, dude. God, was I wrong? A Darce choke? How dare you?
That's what I most trained in that training camp. Every single day of my training camp was grappling.
But why? Just because that was his strong point?
Chiesa, yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
So, like, when I'm in the training camp, I really focus on my opponent, and I make sure that I can fight him wherever the fight goes.
Yeah.
And I knew that grappling is where he was going to try to beat me. There's no secret. I mean, it was striker versus grappling. That was really clear. And I grappled every single day. Even Tuesday is striking day back in my gym, and I was grappling at the end, at least 15 minutes.
All focused on grappling.
All focused on grappling.
But did you, like, when you looked at the fight, I'm sure in camp you visualize and you think the fight's going to go a certain way, maybe?
I thought I was going to knock him out. Yeah, that was
anybody who's a fan, he was like,
yeah, I was going to hang with him on the floor until I was able to stand back up and then knock him out. That was my idea. I didn't know I was going to submit him.
And you probably didn't vision him getting your back.
I didn't vision. That's why that's one of the positions I most train, and I would rotate. So I would be in the middle for, like, let's say 10 minutes straight, and I got fresh guy. Every time I get out of there, a new guy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and all black belts, trying to get my back and trying to submit me. So that's why I was really relaxed once he took my back, even though he put in twice the choke.
Yeah,
it was tight, but it wasn't. It wasn't on the chin,
which
so
hurts, but you're not getting
it hurts, but I was gonna get out of it, and he only had one hook in.
Yeah,
so I knew where I had to scoop my hip. Yeah, so it was kind of.
But you got some cojones to get out of that and then Darce choke him. Of a guy of his caliber.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I just feel in there. That was not the plan. The plan was to stand back up, but once I was there. For me, once he got into the position, it felt like it was in slow motion.
Yeah.
So I felt like I had, like, let's say, like a minute on there, kind of adjusting position, pulling to the back. But it was super quick once I watch it back again.
It's like
it was
right?
Quick, yeah. But for me, it was so slow motion, I felt like there's no way he's going to get out of it.
I think they refer to that like being in the zone. Like it happens to a few fights. Have you had fights where the whole fight you felt like you were in the zone?
Yeah.
Have you had that yet?
Many times.
You've had it many times.
Yeah.
This is why I tell dick jokes and eat food truck food, and you're, a contender in the welterweight division, because it only happened once ever in my career. Ever, when I was fighting Gabriel Gonzaga. If you've seen Spider-Man, my Spider-Man, I'm older, it's Tobey Maguire. And if you remember when he's fighting and that dude's throwing punches and he realized he was bit by a spider and everything's like slow and you're like, what is he doing? Against Gonzaga, it was the only time I was like in the zone. And it was like, whatever he did, I was like, God, he's so slow, man. I can feel everything. I'm like, God, if I could just harness this every fight, it'd be great. And it never came back. You've had it multiple times?
Multiple times. Most of my fights are finishes. And in almost every fight that I finish, the transition, the moment that I finish and a little bit, let's say 10 seconds before that, usually they are slow motion.
Yeah.
Like I see maybe an opening and then I take that opening and everything happens really slow. And like, I don't know, maybe that's why I finished so many fights, because once I see an opening, I commit to it.
Yep.
And because I'm seeing everything in slow motion, I feel like I can make decisions, I can say, hey, what shot should I put in, a hook or a jab? And I don't know, it just works out for me to finish the fights.
Yeah, it's worked out, man.
It's crazy.
Autumn is in the air, the pumpkins are in the patch, and our friends at Manscaped are here to make sure you don't carve your pants pumpkins when you're grooming. It's a reference to your balls. If you know what I'm saying, make sure you're keeping things fresh this fall with the leaders in male grooming and their brand new 4th generation performance package. Boys, get ready for a cuffing season like no other. Ready to take the leap into fall with Manscaped? I am. Join the 2 million bros worldwide using Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code FOODTRUCK. It's time to bundle up with the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0. Inside this amazing package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, All right, it has a flashlight. You can do it in the dark if you want. I don't know why you'd be shaving your nuts in the dark, but to each its own. Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmers. That's always fun. Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, all right? Performance boxer briefs and a travel bag to hold all that stuff. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code FOODTRUCK at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code FOODTRUCK at manscaped.com. Make your balls a priority this fall. Get yourself a little pumpkin latte and shave your balls. Choose Manscaped, your balls will thank you. If, you go back on why you're in the title contention now, you look at the lay of the land, there's monsters everywhere, right? And for me, I thought, obviously the Michael Chiesa is a huge victory, but that all started is when they gave you Woodley. Because, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I thought you got the most dangerous Woodley in the past 4 years, probably, because, he's coming off the loss against Colby and these, Kamaru and, Gilbert, and he's coming off all these losses, and he knows his back's against the wall. He can't keep fighting the same way he's fighting. He can't take, breaks. He has to, pedal to the metal, and he has to capitalize. And, to Willie's defense, powerful dude, all the skill in the world, great wrestler, multiple-time world champion. Like, he's a beast, man. When he was fighting you, it was the time his back was against the wall, and he can't just, I'll get him the next time. Like, this was the fight where he had to fight and really get out of his shell and fight you and come forward. And, he did clip you, and I think he thought, he had you, wobbled or rocked and then rushed in, and then, sure enough, Vicente Luque is like, I don't think so, dude.
I wouldn't recommend anybody to try to, just stay in the pocket with me. Is where I shine. Yeah. I love when guys get into the pocket. And sometimes, like, that happens sometimes, Wonder Boy was really smart. He hurt me, and I was waiting for him to come and try to finish me, and he didn't. He was patient.
His fight IQ, especially in striking, so high. He's probably been there before, and it's a respect thing. It's not them being like, oh, it's whatever. To them, especially a guy like Thompson, he's been there so many times, and it's such a respect thing when they fight you. And this is the other, thing I'll keep bragging about you. When you fight Mike Perry, Woodley, Chiesa, Wonder Boy, you're getting the best version of them. Yeah. Like, if you watch Perry, we talked a little about this, Perry's kind of he's a wild boy. Yeah. Loopy punches, he's down to brawl. With you, it was high and tight. Technique.
Moving his head.
Yeah, because they know, dude. Because it's a respect.
Jab out there.
It's a respect thing towards you.
Yeah, I think that, when they're gonna fight me, they know that I mean business. They know that I'm going out there to take them out. I feel like I get the best versions out of them. Woodley was the same. He came in, to try to knock me out with less than a second in the fight. He was going all in. He tried to wrestle me also. That's something he hadn't done for a while. And I was ready for that. I expected him to go out there and try to take me out with everything he had. And he clipped me because I was preparing an elbow, a counter elbow from whenever he threw that overhand. Yeah. I tried it right away in the beginning of the fight. It didn't connect, so I tried to move it out, a little bit inwards, and that kind of took out the protection I was with my hand back here, and he clipped me right behind the head. And
equilibrium's a little off.
Yeah, I lost my balance even after the fight. I was still kind of wobbly. Yeah, but it was like my mind was clear. I knew everything that was going on. So once he rushed in, I felt like, oh, now's the moment. I'm going to finish that fight. And did your
team and your family and your team members and coaches and your management, did everybody know that was a huge step, man? Like, you finished Woodley, like, that's such a big step in the right direction of you being world champion. Did everybody realize that? Like, that moment was so big, man.
That was, I think, a decisive fight. Thompson was a decisive fight, and I failed, let's say, that test. And then Woodley was the next test and a former champion. Yes. So I knew how important that was. All my family, my team, my teammates and my team, they knew how important that was. So we worked hard for that. And after that win, we were super excited. But at the same time,
it's off to the races. Like, you beat a former world champion, especially
but after that,
a big name.
I think that it becomes like even more important. So now, okay, I beat a big name. So now it's only tough guys. There's no easy guys after that.
That's why fighting's so stressful. Yeah. It's like, in college football, it's like Alabama and Georgia playing every weekend, but the other team's getting better every single weekend. Or it's like you have a bully in school, and you beat him up once, you caught him, like, oh, thank God I don't have to deal with that again. Nope, a bigger, badder bully's coming. The bigger, badder bully's coming. It's just this anxiety. You deal with it well. So you beat Woodley, and then did you have an idea Chiesa was next?
No, I didn't know. I mean, I was trying to fight somebody in the top 5, so that was what I was aiming
before you
for.
fought Woodley, what were you ranked?
I think I was maybe 12, 11, something like that. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But I was trying
Those
to get
rankings
somebody.
Are weird, dude.
Yeah, and they change all the time. I mean, before I fought, like a month before I fought Chiesa, I was ranked above him. And then a week before the fight, I was ranked underneath him. So for me, it was good because I was fighting somebody above me,
sure.
you know? So I felt like, okay, I'm going to fight somebody that is up there. That's great. So yeah, it was kind of like a hard thing. I think that I didn't know I was gonna fight Chiesa, but I wanted somebody that, you know, that was going on a good win streak, that was, you know, a big name in the division.
He's the guy.
When they offered me him, I said, yeah, that's the guy. You know, he beat Rafael dos Anjos.
Yeah, man.
He beat another tough guy, Neil Magny. You know, he's always in that division. He never leaves the top 15. You know, he might have a loss,
Neil?
but then he gets, he always gets back
he's
up
always
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always, you know, if he loses a little bit, then he
bounces
beats
back,
the 3
dude.
guys. Yeah. So, I mean, I felt like Chiesa was the guy, you know, to fight. And I knew it was a tough fight, but I felt like I had everything to go out there and take him out, and I did.
God, what a
and
fight.
now I'm in a good position. I feel like I can get the title fight if everything goes as planned. If Kamaru beats Colby, I think that would be the perfect scenario for me.
But also,
we'll see.
we'll get into Kamaru after once we get food.
For sure.
But also, there was talk with you and Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
And what I find fascinating is obviously everybody calls out Nate Diaz. Everybody. Because he's the money fight. You know, that's going to be a huge pay-per-view. Everybody's going to make money. He's a hell of a fighter. Like, it's a legacy fight. Yeah. But he actually entertained it. He's like, dude, let's do it. And I was like, oh, shit. Nate Diaz, Vicente Luque, take all my money, dude. Yeah. Has there been any more talk about that?
I mean, I've talked to my manager. I let them know that, you know, I want that fight. The UFC knows I want that fight. Apparently, Nate also wants to fight. So, you know, it's up to the UFC now. Let's see if they can make that fight. I think that what really makes sense of this fight is that we both have the ingredients to make, you know, a fight of the year. We're going to go out there. I'm not going to try to go out there and take him down. I know that, you know, even though if that can be a good game plan, I throw that to the garbage. I'll tell my coaches, hey,
he's not going to take you down either, dude.
Yeah, I mean, my coach from Brazil, Daniel, when this fight, you know, can be a possibility, he was telling me, you know, I know that this fight, I'm going to be so mad because I'm going to say things in the corner and you're not going to do that.
Not have it.
Yeah, I'm just going to watch this fight, you know.
That's why I want to see this.
Yeah, I mean.
God, I hope it happens for you, man.
Yeah, hopefully,
I really
man. I think it's a great fight, and it's, you know, I know that the title is a possibility, but Nate Diaz is the kind of fight that I would never pass. You know, I definitely want to fight him.
Absolutely not, because I think for you to be favored in that fight, and you do that, obviously make probably more money than you've ever been paid, and then just the respect and notoriety you get from being a legend like Nate Diaz. You know, you look at Robbie Lawler, what he did against Nick Diaz. It's like anyone who can get the rub off those Diaz bros, it's such an advantage. To be honest, it might be bigger than the title. I mean, obviously, your contract changed to become world champion, but if you can get a guy like Nate Diaz, there, you know, he's the Stockton unicorn, man. It just does wonders for your career. I hope it happens.
And I think it sets me up, even, you know, like kind of. Right now, there is me, there is Edwards. We're kind of like seeing who's going to be next for the title. If I have one more fight and I beat a guy like Nate, I think that's the whole discussion. I'm the title
So
fight,
I hope it happens. Well, hopefully it doesn't happen soon because I'm going to feed you. I think is it a German food truck? So we're talking brats, heavy gravy. We're both going to shit our pants. But yeah, you're definitely not making weight anytime soon. So let me feed you, dude. And then we'll get into
I love eating, so, you know.
Do you?
Yeah.
Good food back home?
Yeah,
Brazil?
great food. And I love like food from every kind of, the different foods are my favorite ones. Yeah, I like to travel and eat, you know, different things.
At home, wifey's cooking or how you do it?
Both of us. I love cooking as well.
Oh, you're a chef.
I bake bread. Sourdough bread.
Oh, damn, sourdough. That's a real art, man.
Yeah, man, I love cooking. I love eating as well.
Damn, all right, let's do this, man. I think so. What do you recommend?
The schnitzel.
The schnitzel.
That's what we're known for.
Go ahead, Vicente.
I'll have the schnitzel.
The schnitzel?
Yeah.
Did you fry it or anything else?
Yeah, I'll have the pastrami fries.
Pastrami fries it is.
Oh, wow. Nice move, man. I'll do
Like
the buffalo grilled cheese. And then can I also get a brat with just sauerkraut on it and mustard? You know, the world's crazy, man, and maybe your gym isn't open, or maybe you have to wear a mask in your gym. You're like, man, I wish I could get a good workout from the crib. Well, you can. There's Peloton, kids. There is Peloton, and you're like, man, maybe it's too expensive. Oh, yeah? Well, it's $400 less these days. Yes, now is the perfect time to start building the momentum to reach your fitness goals. Maybe you're thick. Get less thick, all right? And sometimes when things seem overwhelming, taking care of yourself is the first thing to go. But man, you got 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Well, Peloton is there for you. I put in my garage. My name's Thick Boy Prez on there. You'll see my thick ass on there. I'm on there all the time, man. And now it's $400 less. Say what? Yes, they have great instructors. Robin's my favorite. I do the 20-minute class with Robin, sometimes 30-minute class with Robin. They have curated music. I like the hip-hop myself. Sometimes I do country, not a big deal. They have cardio and strength, all right? They got you guys covered, man. One subscription for the whole squad, the whole family, kids, your mom, your aunt, stepmom. They got classes for every level, beginners. They got the Tabatas with Robin, which are super hard. We got you guys covered, man. Experience motivation like never before with the Peloton bike. Again, it's $400 less. Go to onepeloton.com to learn more. That's onepeloton.com, onepeloton.com. Some of y'all got some suspect search history on your computer. You know what I'm talking about, boys. Gets a little weird at night. Let me tell you something right now. Incognito mode doesn't hide your activity. It doesn't matter what mode you use or how many times you clear your browsing history from your mom. Your internet service provider can still see every single website you've ever visited. That's right. That's why people like me, Vicente Luque, also use it. Even when I'm at home, I use it. I never go online without using ExpressVPN. Doesn't matter who your internet service provider is. ISPs in the US can legally sell your information to ad companies. You believe that? ExpressVPN is an app that reroutes your internet connection through their secure servers so your ISP cannot see the sites you visit, all right? ExpressVPN also keeps all your information secure by encrypting 100% of your data with the most powerful encryption available. Wow. Most of the time, I don't even realize I have ExpressVPN on, all right? It just runs seamlessly. It's in the background. It's easy. I don't have to worry about people seeing my weird search history, all right? ExpressVPN is available on all your devices, phones, computers, even your smart TV, so there's no excuse for you not to be using it. Protect your online activity today, you freaks. With the VPN rated #1 by CNET, visit expressvpn.com/foodtruck. You can get an extra 3 months free on a 1-year package. That's ExpressVPN, EXPRESSVPN.com/foodtruck. ExpressVPN.com/foodtruck to learn more. Let's dig on in, dude. That's a good thing you're not a fight because I don't think Germans are known for their keto-friendly snacks. All right,
that's nice.
That is
that's
pretty
nice.
big sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's pretty legit. Here's the thing. When I went to Brazil, I would get the acai there. And I thought all acai is the same, but out there it's actually pretty healthy. That's why you guys eat it. Here, it's basically purple frozen yogurt.
Yeah, I don't eat acai here because it's really different.
It's junk. It's full of sugar.
And if you go if you eat in Rio acai, that's even not the real one.
Oh, wow.
You gotta go to Belém, for example. That's where Machida is from. That's where you got the real acai, and it's totally different.
Oh, man.
It's not even sweet. Like you can eat it with sweet things, or you can eat it salty.
Oh, damn.
Like people eat it with fish, with many different things. So it's crazy.
Wow.
Like, yeah, the real one, it's really different.
Oh, wow, I did not have that.
Yeah.
We don't really, there's nowhere to get that here. Pretty legit. Those fries are intense.
Mm-hmm.
Super
Good.
intense.
Real good.
When you look at your two potential next matchups, again, I think obviously Leon Edwards is always, there's like, right when you, if I'm the UFC brass, I'm sitting around a table, let's say there's 10 people there, 5 are probably saying, man, we gotta give this kid Leon Edwards a shot. I'm sure 5 are like, dude, we didn't give Vicente a shot, you know? I think with Leon, obviously he had a shot against Nate Diaz. What's so crazy about that fight is he was winning every round by far, and then the last 30 seconds, Nate wobbled him, and it's all anybody talked about. Even though he lost, Nate's value still didn't go down. If anything, it went up. Because people were like, man, if this was a street fight, 10 more seconds, that thing would have been over, and that's just the world we live in. I think he deserves it, but there's a difference when you're in the business the UFC is deserves. Like, yeah, maybe the guy's on a whatever 9-fight win streak, but sometimes just because on paper it looks like you deserve it, the UFC really doesn't operate that way.
Yeah, I think
There's more to it.
It's entertainment. It's not only a sport. and that's what a lot of people don't get. And like the reason I don't complain, like I have, I don't know, 16 fights in the UFC, something like that, and I haven't gotten a title fight, and it took a while for me to be in a title fight conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad at it because I realize, like, I'm not a trash talker. I'm not gonna try to cut my way, you know, through there. I'm gonna fight my way to the title.
Yep.
And I understand that that's what I gotta do. And I gotta entertain the way that I can entertain. And that's what I think that many guys don't get it. And right now, for example, Edwards, he deserves it. Like, if you look at it as a sport, yeah, he deserves it. He's 10-win streak. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But when you put the entertainment, then it's a different conversation. And then I think that's where I beat him, because I can entertain every single fight, no matter who you put me against. And I'm also coming on a win streak. I've been beating a lot of tough guys.
Big names and finishes.
Exactly, and I think I have both things. I entertain, and sport-wise, you know, I deserve it as well.
Agree. Like, your resume is pretty, you know, great looking. So it's impressive. So yeah, I think if I'm the UFC again with Leon Edwards, you know, because the way that last Nate Diaz fight went, it's a tough sell. And you know, if I know one thing about the UFC, they're going to go with the more exciting fighter. The other knock on Leon, again, Leon, it's I don't make decisions. I love you, dude. I think you're a fantastic fighter. Before I say that, you know, I do think the UFC's in the business of making money and put on exciting fights. And Leon's fought Kamaru, so it was a while ago. They've both gotten better, so you know, I'm sure it'd be a different fight. But you can't sit here and tell me that anybody out there, all these camera guys we have, that you can tell me how it would end between you and Kamaru. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I have no idea. And you know, he's #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world now. Did you know that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, and I think
John
he deserves it.
You know, John's fighting the wall, and Kamaru's fighting fighters. You know, so they're like, you know what, dude, we're pitching #2 now, which I guess. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think Kamaru deserves to be #1 right now for what he has been doing. He is a beast. And I've trained with him. I know how tough
you
that
have?
guy is.
Did you train in Florida with him?
Yeah, I mean, we both used to be from the Black Zillions, and he used to be at Sanford. I'm at Sanford as well. So, you know, we've trained a lot. We're in the Ultimate Fighter together. And
so you guys know each other?
Yeah, we know each other. We're friends. I could say we're friends.
Yeah,
we have a good relationship.
We've had him on here.
He's a great dude.
Yeah.
But we have no problems fighting each other. We're both competitors, and we want to be the best. He is the best right now, and that's what I want to be. So I know I got to.
You know what's interesting about Kamaru is if, you know, you look at him versus, and I'd love to get your thoughts on him versus Colby, the rematch. When I look at Colby and him, obviously Colby hasn't done anything since their last fight. He hasn't, you know, gotten better, hasn't done anything. But you can't sit here and tell me that Kamaru's the same fighter that fought Colby that first time. Like, I think the biggest compliment you can give Kamaru is he's gotten so much better. Like, he was dominant before. Now he's knocking dudes out. He knocked out Masvidal. The dude can hit now. It's a problem, man.
Yeah.
And so you look at those two, and, you know, if I had to bet, I'm like, well, this guy's been doing work, and he can strike now, and then what's Colby been doing? So it's a tough argument. Yeah. How do you see that fight going?
If it goes like the first fight, is what you said. Kamaru has improved, and where he has improved is what happened in the first fight. They boxed the whole fight, and that's what Kamaru has gotten better in. So I don't see a good night for Colby. I don't see a good night for Colby. I think it's going to be a tough fight, but we never know. Colby can be working on some different things.
Colby's a dog.
Yeah, he is. He's tough. You know, he talks shit, but he's tough. You know, people don't like him much in Brazil, and there's no way to like that guy. But he's a tough guy as a fighter.
He's a very good fighter.
You got to give it to him. But I don't know. I think Kamaru is gonna win again. That's what I see. I would put him as favorite. And for me, it also works out because I think if he keeps the title, I'm the only guy that hasn't fought him. So it's going to be good for me too.
Yeah, you don't want, worst case for you, I mean, it's going to work out for you no matter what, dude. But it would suck if Colby does beat him because then we have to do another match. And they're like, oh, goddamn, you know?
That's just
Has there been any talk of you and Leon fighting?
No, there hasn't, but that's a fight that I would like to have because then there's no doubts anymore.
No one talks about it.
I know. I mean,
I've never heard about it.
I fought him in the past. He beat me in 2017, and I want that back. You know, I want that rematch. I think I can beat him for sure. So yeah, I would love that fight.
That's that'd be like if I'm on Leon Edwards' team. I'm like, no, we deserve the title shot. We beat that guy.
Yeah,
beat him 5 years ago, man.
Yeah,
talking about a different time.
That's a long time ago. I mean,
yeah,
things change. Things change. Both of us have improved, and I think it would be a great fight. You know,
yeah, it's a good fight.
Yeah.
Kamaru and Colby fight soon. Is it October?
November.
Is it November?
Yeah,
and that's Madison Square Garden, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the New York card. So they fight in November, so you got to figure you're probably not looking at, if you, let's say they guaranteed you a title shot, you're probably looking at what, maybe March next year? Maybe?
Yeah.
And you want to wait that long?
No. I hate waiting, man. I love to fight. I remember that, like last year I had 2 fights, and that for me, like, sucks. I like to have 3 fights at least a year. There was a period of 12 months. Yeah. In 12 months, I fought 5 times.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's too much, but 4 times in 12 months, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think 3 fights
3's
is like
more
perfect.
realistic.
Yeah, 3,
until you become a, you know.
So I can have, December would be perfect, you know, whoever, Nate Diaz, is a guy, Leon Edwards is another guy that I would love to fight.
I want Nate Diaz for you, man.
Yeah, I want that too, man. I mean, I want to fight. I want to fight. It has to be a top guy. There's no sense of me fighting, you know, somebody that right now doesn't make sense. Got to be somebody that will move me up. And I think these 2 guys are the guys that really, you know, make sense. Leon Edwards, a rematch. You know, I know that I can get that one back. And Nate, man, that's a
fight,
history
dude.
fight. Yeah, that's
both
gonna
are
be
great.
legendary.
Yeah, both are great.
Yeah.
You got good options ahead of you, man. You got great options ahead of you. Now, we flew you out from Brazil, and then you got here early, and you went to the fights on Saturday night. That'd be, as you're watching this, that'd be UFC 266. Main event was Volkanovski, Brian Ortega. You had Nick Diaz and Robbie Lawler on there.
Valentina.
Also, I mean, she does what she does.
Yeah.
She's
that
an
was a great
monster.
card. It was even better than I expected, than I anticipated. And the last fight, man, it was crazy.
Amazing fight.
Well, yeah, watching that live, and especially like having the fans back, that's something that I never knew how much the fans, you know, make a difference. And now having them back, it's great. And
I feel like, for you too, fans is important.
Yeah.
You feed off that.
Yeah,
There's certain fighters,
sure.
like, I think like Thug Rose and there's some other fighters that they don't like so much of that attention, and you know they're fine with fighting in a library. But then there's other guys. I feel like you, Gaethje, Conor. There's certain guys that they feel like they can feel the energy, and they up. And you can even tell, like, if you go back and watch the fights when they're in the bubble, when they're fighting on Fight Island, where the hell they're doing, nobody's there. They're fighting at the UFC Apex Center. The fights are just different, man.
Yeah.
Like, and even I was trying to sell myself in the audience. I was like, I actually like it. I can hear the coaches. It's like, it was just.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that I fought 2 times in 2020, and like I beat 2 guys in impressive fashion. You know, were 2 knockouts, and I was like, man, I don't know. I'm not that excited.
Yeah.
Once I finished the fights, I'm like,
you're like, all right.
Yeah,
it's like a day in the office, clocking out.
Yeah,
see you guys tomorrow.
Okay, exciting. Let's go home now. And man, it was so boring.
What did you think of Nick Diaz's return?
Man, he surprised me because it was kind of like, it was a roller coaster. Like maybe a month ago when there was that picture of him biking,
like
he was shredded. I'm like, man, he's gonna look good, you know. And then fight week, I'm like, damn, he's gonna look bad. He's not gonna have a good fight. And then once it was
like
fight night, I mean, once it was fight night, I thought he looked, you know, really good. He was
6-year layoff.
Yeah,
that's tough.
That's tough for sure. And he looked better than I expected he was gonna look. He went out there, put on a good fight. Robbie was a beast. I mean, I've trained with Robbie at Sanford, and he's a beast, you know, and he was in one of the best shapes he's been lately. And I don't know, it looked like the old Robbie, you know, the champion Robbie. And I think that was great, you know. It was a great fight. No matter what people say about Diaz, you know, it was a great fight. He went out there and did what he does.
Agree.
I would like to see him again if he is willing, you know, to focus and really train for it, which is hard at this time. You know, I think the reason that it was 185, I think he just didn't want to make weight. You know, he was tired. Yeah, tired of doing that. Yeah.
I'll end on this. When you and Kamaru train against each other, how'd it go?
I'll tell you the truth, and I've talked about it before.
He whooped your ass?
He did many times. No, I'm gonna tell you. I love it
because I would have lied. I'd been like, man, it was back and forth, dude. I don't know. Sometimes he won, sometimes I won. Anyways, thanks for the meal. Yeah.
I'm a striker, and you know I've always been working on my wrestling, and he's a beast of a wrestler.
He's very
so
good.
He always like. If it got hard for him in striking, he would just take me down, and he's a decent striker, man. He's good at striking, so he could hang with me in striking. And if he, you know, it's different when you fight wrestlers. They can fake, they can make you think, you know, about that takedown, and that takes
down.
like 50% of my striking out. But at the same time, that's something that I learned from him is just like, fuck these guys. Don't care about what they're gonna do. Don't care about the takedowns. Do my thing. And that's something that I took from Kamaru. And he always talked to me about it, you know. And now it can be, you know, something that I'm gonna beat him
hilarious.
with. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. he taught me how to beat him.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's gonna be a great fight whenever it happens. I know that, man, he's the toughest guy. I do believe he is pound for pound #1 because he is one of the guys that I've watched, and I said, like, man, I gotta be like this guy. I gotta want it as much as this guy wants it. And now, you know, he's the champion, and I might fight him, so I know how much I gotta be trained to beat him.
It makes me want to watch the fight even more.
Yeah.
I don't think during the countdown, if you do get that fight, I don't think the UFC is gonna be showing that sparring footage because everyone's like, God damn, you know? Yeah. So usually they do that, man. But I've wanted your show for a while. You're one of my favorite fighters, man. And you're such a good dude, man.
Thanks,
I think you know, that your future's so goddamn bright, dude. And it's about time you're in the title contender conversation, man. Thanks for coming all the way for Brazil to eat that. You know?
Yeah, man, it's great. Yeah, when I knew that I was going to be part of this show, I was excited.
You knew
because
what's up.
I love the show, and also, like, I love eating. So it's two great things.
Easy
together.
peasy, man.
Yeah,
Well, appreciate it, brother. Good luck with everything, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, you crushed it. Vicente Luque, everybody.